Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of HNN StarCraft 2 casting. I will be casting another tutorial today for Terran players. If you like these tutorials or if you feel they help you in any way, go ahead and subscribe to me because I will be posting more Terran playing tutorials up later today. Actually tomorrow. Anyway, for our opponent today, his name is Warlock X. And Warlock X is a top 500 players at the end of Beta Phase 2. If you're curious about these ratings or if you want to check out your rating as a Diamond League player, you can go ahead and check it out in the description link below, and it'll tell you where you place at the end of Beta Phase 2 and what rank you are. So for our battle today, we are battling on the map of Steppes of War. And a little bit about Steppes of War. This map is a small map, so rushing on this map is extremely viable for any player. And about myself, I just love to rush. I don't like to stay in my base and be camped on the outside by anybody else. What I'd rather do is I'd rather secure my natural expansion, and I'd rush the player and build a bunker in his base if the situation allows me. So anyway, our rushing strategy today is called the MegaMarine Rush. And a little bit about the MegaMarine Rush, we did talk about it the other day, but I guess I'll talk about it a little bit more in case you forgot. The MegaMarine Rush revolves around rushing our opponent before he gets his baling nest up. And one of the ways we do that is don't build a tech lab and don't build a reactor. And not building these two things will enable us to build the production of marines faster without being delayed. And the build order for this again is a supply depot, 2 Raxes, orbital command center, a supply depot, and then 2 more Raxes. And your 2 other Raxes should be placed on the outside of your base right here so that you can secure your natural expansion. And since we're rushing, what we don't expect the Zerg player to do is to rush us, because most Zerg players don't rush in higher level leagues. They don't do a 8-ling rush, 8 pool and 6-ling rush, mainly because it's so easy for the Terran player to block in. But as you saw my Marines earlier, they are on the lookout for Overlords, and one of the best places to find an Overlord on this map is this spot right here, because many Zerg players love to put an Overlord right here so it overlooks your Marines running out. But for some reason we don't have an Overlord right here. So it looks like the Zerg player is probably doing something special. He has gone gas heavy build. He's building a baling nest, so he will be probably doing some type of baling bust, and he has scouted us already, so this probably means we will have to rush out earlier. And because we are rushing out so early, it puts the ball field in our advantage, because he still hasn't had a chance to get his baling nest up. He's trying to down a spine crawler now, and he looks like he's in for a lot of trouble. And on your way, you can snipe as many Overlords as possible, because you want to supply block your enemy so he won't be able to make any more units. And it doesn't look like he has enough units to take on this ball of Marines, so the game probably should be ending shortly, and we're about to find out soon enough. But it looks like I made a bad choice and decided to focus on the spine crawler instead of the Zerglings, so it was a bad play on my part. What I should have done is I should have ran my Marines back here, should have tried to snipe the spawn pool, kill his Zerglings if he tried to fight me, and then snipe his baling nest, and the game would have been over. But it was a little bit bad play on my fault, so you can learn from my mistake and do something different next time. So anyway, what was I talking about earlier? I was talking about finding an Overlord in this spot. One of the important things about finding an Overlord in this spot is you don't want to come up here with only 1 Marine. You want to come up here with at least 2 or 3 Marines, because if you only come up here with 1 Marine, the Overlord has a chance of escaping down to this spot in this area over here. So always come up here with 2 or 3 Marines when you're going Overlord hunting. So anyway, back to the battle. Because our MegaMarine Rush did fail, we're going to have to transfer out of this build into Hellions, but we don't want our opponent to know that. We want our opponent to keep thinking we are making mass Marines this entire time. So we're going to put down some more Raxes and pump out some more Marines while we're gathering some gas to get a factory going up. And one of the things that I built wrong, I think, did I mention this before? We should have built the barracks up here instead of down here, because it requires just too many minerals and too many buildings to block off this 4 down. So we should have built up here, and it would have been a better choke if we built our fortified defense up here. But anyway, what I love about building like this is it provides 2 layers of defense for our base. First, the Zergling must bust through here with banelings, and then he must bust through this layer of defense with banelings. So it provides an added level of protection for your main base, which it makes me feel very comfortable, and you guys probably just should try it. And anyway, we're still pumping out Marines, and the main reason we're pumping out Marines is we want the Zerg player to keep thinking the only way to win this game is to make more banelings. As long as he's pumping out banelings and more Zerglings, the ball field is in our game, because what we're really doing is we're trying to transition ourselves from Marines into the Hellions, because Hellions do counter Zerglings and they do counter banelings. Let's see, do we even have a factory going up? No, we don't have a factory going up yet. We are still trying to pump out some Marines, and he looks like he took out like 1 Rax already. You can change this build order however you want. You can go 2 Raxes a refinery, 3 Raxes a refinery, 4 Raxes a refinery, but I myself chose 5 because I wanted to really push the Zerg player into making more Zerglings and more banelings. As long as he's making those 2 units, the game is still my ballpark, because he's not going to be trying to transition out to any other unit. And the main reason he can't transition out into other units is mainly because he can't take to Mutalists, because my Marines will overrun his Zerglings and banelings, and Marines do counter Mutalists, and he can't transition into Roaches because a ball of Marines will destroy a ball of Roaches. So his really his only option at the moment is just to make banelings in order to counter my attack. Actually, Zerg players do have one more option. He could make an Infestor, but most Zerg players don't think about making an Infestor. I'm not exactly sure why, but it plays a very big role. If he made an Infestor, he probably could have turned the battle into his favor. He could have trapped my Marines in here, and it probably would have helped him break through a little easier. But he didn't go for an Infestor, which worked out to my game. And let's see what else is going on here. It looks like we were trying to push in with as many Marines as possible, trying to make him waste as many minerals. As you can tell, this is a mineral heavy build. It's not a gas intensive build. So we should have we should have more workers on the mineral field right here, but we have a little bit too much gas, but I guess that's fine. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the factory. When you're going for Hellions, your first attachment should be a tech lab. It shouldn't be a reactor. The main reason for that is it takes 50 seconds to up a reactor and 25 seconds to up a tech lab. So basically you can have 1.5 Hellions completed, and maybe 25% of your pre-igniter completed by the time you're done with the reactor. So for your first factory, always build a tech lab. If you want to go for another factory, go ahead and you can make a reactor in your second one. But your first factory, just make a tech lab and get that pre-igniter, because it plays an important role into the strategy. Because when the Zerg player does not realize that we are making Hellions at the moment, and by the time he realizes that we are making Hellions, it's going to be too late for him. And Hellions do counter banelings, and they do counter Zerglings, and especially with the pre-igniter upgraded, he will stand no chance. And another thing to notice is that I did put a Marine ahead of my main army. The main reason to put a Marine here is so, well, hopefully get a feel of these banelings busted, and to see if anything coming in to help fortify my defenses a little bit more. As you can tell, I already have 2 Hellions, and my pre-igniter is almost done, and it looks like the game is in my ballpark, because the next time he tries to break in, it's gonna be game over. And some of you probably noticed I didn't grab these watchtowers. The main reason I didn't grab these watchtowers because it doesn't overlook the field of vision of the rush over here. So unless you're gonna do a drop, you only need these watchtowers if you're gonna do a drop. But if you're not gonna do a drop, you don't need those watchtowers. But it looks like the game is gonna come to an end pretty soon, because he is about to do a last push with about 18 banelings. That's a lot of banelings and a lot of Zerglings. His goal is to break in and destroy as many Marines as possible with the Banelings, and then come and finish me off with the Zerglings. But what he does not realize is that I do have Hellions with pre-igniter upgraded, and once he realizes this, it will be too late for him to transition into anything else. Look at that pre-igniter roasting all those Zerglings. There is nothing he can do, especially with 5 Hellions and pre-igniter, and he has not transitioned into anything else. Checking a quick scan of his base shows he has not transitioned into anything else, and my Hellions will destroy the rest of his base because he does not have a counter to Hellions. It looks like he put a Spire down, but it is too late. There's nothing he can actually do right now because my Hellions would just roast all of his drones, and he is just stuck making Banelings, and he is stuck making Zerglings. So it is pretty much over, and a GG should be coming in pretty soon. So anyway, if this tutorial has helped you, or you like this strategy, go ahead and subscribe to me. I'm gonna post some more strategies up tomorrow, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is HNN signing out.